We're in Sidcup, which is southeast London.
I would say up and coming. It's definitely improved over the last 5 to 10 years. There's huge student demand, and the location of the site, 2 minutes from the high street, 2 minutes from the station, and 2 minutes from the colleges, all by foot. So it's a perfect location.
Pavilion House is a different project for us in that this is going to be predominantly student accommodation. There are 18 apartments that have been developed of a very high specification.
Student accommodation of 20, 30 years ago used to be damp, cheap and dirty. And I think over the last 2 decades, it's transformed. People's expectations have changed. We're looking at somebody who wants their own space. They still want to be involved, but when they come back home, they want their own space. They want their own kitchens, their own place. We didn't want it to look like a hotel or an office. So again, we've got the freedom to do with the locks and the design as we want, which 2N gives us.
2N really wanted to make something that lived up to expectations. So we needed to make something that was very reliable, works on all the platforms we could get our hands on. So we're trying to make it a full resident toolkit, if you like, for how they manage the flow of people into and throughout the building, whether that's them, the resident, or their guests or tradespeople and that sort of thing.
The key driver for this project was not to have the keys, to give the ease of access, to have a reliable product that fitted in with the aesthetics of the building.
We chose the IP style over other products and even the 2N Verso because it has the flexibility to achieve through software everything we want, just like your telephone, your mobile, your iPad. It's got that interface. When people, especially the younger generation, walk up to that, they know exactly what they're looking at. They're familiar with a touch screen, they know what to expect. There's just so many more possibilities.
Moving to that mode of user interface allows you to do a whole bunch of things. If you have a building with a lot of residents in it, you don't need extra space for lots and lots of physical buttons. You can have a list of people to call that's 10 or 100. And then you can also do custom messages based on when someone is allowed into the building. Depending on who's letting them in, they can get different wording or graphics to explain where they need to go in the building or what they need to do next.
As you go further into the building, every apartment, there's 18 of them, has a 2N Access 2.0 reader in there, which is using Bluetooth and RFID, but we're just using the Bluetooth in there. That's linked with security relays, so they get that extra level of reassurance on security for the tenants.
Bluetooth offers the ability to use an encrypted connection. Also, most phones have the option to have some sort of biometric lock on their phone. So whether that's using facial recognition or a thumbprint or something to unlock your phone.
It's a pain when you lose your key. Everyone assumes a physical key has greater security, but it's quite the opposite. Losing a key is £4.50. The bigger issue is now the need to replace that key. If the key's been lost within an address, we need to replace the lock. We need to send someone to do that. So that £4.50 becomes £250. It's also a security risk until it's replaced.
Most people are a little bit more cautious about their phone and where they leave it and what they do with it. On the back of that though, we can also rescind credentials remotely just as we can issue them remotely. So a building manager doesn't actually have to arrange a time to meet up with a resident to give them a credential to get into certain areas or into their apartment. Similarly, if there's a problem, a phone gets lost, that can be done automatically online, and again, you don't actually have to meet up with the resident to do that.
So it's more secure, it's an easier frictionless experience for the consumer, and if it's done right, it's win-win.
So where we've taken it onto the next level is using the Bluetooth technology. We've actually been able to make the mailboxes for each of the units to be able to be opened via Bluetooth. So again, no keys, post comes, they can just open it with their app and gain access to their post, and that's working with 2N, has worked really well. It fits with the building, it looks good, it functions well, and is aesthetically pleasing for the client.
What we've learned is if you design it from the very outset, knowing where you're going, then it doesn't need to cost more. It's achieved everything we want to achieve, we've kept ourselves open for the future, and we've got an integrated solution.
It's been a really interesting project, the challenges that we faced in this. Our client has a very high specification. So all the way through, we've been trying to make sure we meet that, and in many ways have exceeded it. And I think the client and Darren has been very pleased with what we've provided with that value-add service, where we've taken extra bits on the system that they'd never even thought of.
So yeah, we're big fans of 2N and what it's achieved. Yeah, it's excellent.